Hi everyone, I'm back again. Another video, obviously. Today we're building a space station. It's technically not a space station. It's actually a science laboratory. And the plot of land that I'm building it on is actually where the existing science laboratory was if you've got the Get to Work expansion pack. You can only access this lot if you're a scientist. When I say scientist, you have to be in the scientist career. And that basically, when they go to work on this lot. But I didn't really like the lot that was here beforehand. It wasn't particularly bad. It done the job it was required to do. But I just didn't think it looked... I wanted something futuristic, and it was very kind of industrial, what was there before. Whereas this is a much more high-tech laboratory. And the reason I called it a space station is because it's quite a big emphasis on the spaceship that you can build. And it's got its own silo, and it's going to look really cool when it's finished. Just a quick thing about the video before we start though. Unfortunately, I do have to skip quite a lot of the interior building of the video. There'll be screenshots at the end, but there's not much footage of the interior. Basically because, I was going to make this a two-part video, but I don't really like two-part videos. I'd rather just have it all in one part and just get rid of the bits that aren't that interesting to watch. I don't feel you needed to watch me build the offices inside, because they're not that, there's nothing special about them. They're just standard laboratories and offices, and I've built plenty like it before. But the stuff that you see on the screen now, like the rocket silo, I've never built anything like that before. So I wanted to make sure I got the footage of that in, but then the other stuff doesn't really feature much in the video. So if you're wondering how to build a rocket silo, it's quite simple. You basically just build a basement as far down as you can go, and then you delete the middle. And that's about it, really. There is some quite cool actual spots in this lot as well, especially in the main building, where you go right from the ground floor basement all the way to the very top floor, and it's just been hollowed out, so it's kind of like an atrium, but it goes 8 floors deep. And obviously in The Sims, you can't build a building 8 floors high, but it kind of creates the effect of an 8-story building, at least on the inside, because it's got the basement floors that are also opened out. You can see me building it right now. You see that square bit that goes right down to the bottom, and it does actually look really cool when it's done. This lot also features a car park, not a very big one, but I figured it should have a car park as it's in the middle of the desert, and it doesn't look like there's any real way to get to it any other way by car. Although interestingly, your Sims do just walk to this lot, when they spawn nearby. But in reality, people probably drive. So I figured let's put a car park in. It looks quite nice. And there was a little bit of space for it. So it made sense. Yeah, just building the staircase here. The top floor actually ends up being, of the main office area, ends up being a greenhouse. So it's a greenhouse area. And then, so it's got a greenhouse on the top floor. And it's going to have glass roofs. And then you've got a missile silo, rocket silo. And then you've also got, what was the other thing we did? Oh yeah, the Observatory Tower. Because it's all stuff that your Sim will use if they can. So I figured let's have an observatory. There's also microscopes. There's everything you need if you're doing a scientist career. There's just a lot more of it. And it does look really cool because rockets can actually fly out of that hatch when they're made. So you will see that towards the end of the video. I do have a clip of a rocket flying straight out the top. So if anything, it's worth staying for till the end just to see that. And talking of videos and stuff, I do try and release probably trying to do once a week. Obviously, if you look at my upload times, you'll notice that it's more once every 3 weeks, and then 3 in a week, 3 in a day, then maybe once a month. But in general, averages out to once every week. So hopefully I can continue doing it like that. I do plan on more uploads later on in the year, but at the moment I'm currently in my last year at university. So until I finish that uni, I can't just have to focus on that more than I focus on Sims. But once I finish uni, I'll have the time to upload probably at least once a week, like consistently, rather than getting like 3 builds out in 1 week and then no builds for like the rest of the month. If that makes any sense. But yeah, here we go. So we're just building the roof. The roof actually looks really cool, I think. The way that it's like a double height room because of the roof. And yeah, just adding details to the missile silo, rocket silo, whatever you want to call it. And then I decided at the front of the lot, because it was quite a bland blank wall, but I wanted the entrance to be there because that's where Sims actually do enter the lot. So I put the entrance there, and then it's going to be like a 3-story high of just windows. But the purpose of that is so that I can put like the science poster. It almost creates quite a cool looking like logo for the building, so it does look like a science laboratory, not just a random white building. Although I think it does look kind of laboratory-like, just based on the fact that it's got a lot of modern architectural details on it. But yeah, it's a bit you just saw getting built there. That was actually the staff canteen that sticks out. Because I kind of, in my head, I already knew what was going where on the inside of the building. And I didn't have any space for the staff canteen. So I thought, let's just add it here. And it'll actually look quite futuristic and cool anyway. It looks a bit weird at the moment, but when you see the car park and stuff, it actually fits quite nicely. This build also has a lift shaft. It's obviously not functioning, but it's basically the lift shaft is in the car park and it goes down to the basement floor, and it's so you can get goods from the car park to the rocket silo, because obviously like big heavy equipment you wouldn't just transport down staircases. It doesn't work, but it's a cool detail and it looks like it works. Like I used the up and down arrow signs and also the kind of like light fixture that it's red when you put it in, but you can also make it blue and green. So I use a lot of those light fixtures around, just to kind of give that effect that you're in a kind of hive of activity that would be a military base. And if you're wondering why those objects there were sectioned off to one side, it's because they're the objects that were in the original build that EA give you when you do the scientist career. And I wanted to keep the exact object so that I had the exact right plants, the exact right like equipment, just so that the lot functions exactly how it's supposed to. Not that it would have made much difference if I changed the plants slightly, but I don't know, it just made sense for me to do it that way. So I figured that was the easiest way to do it. But yeah, as you can see now, I'm building the car park in, and there kind of ends up being like a raised garden area as well. But yeah, in the end, it does look really nice, this area. It doesn't look great at the minute, but trust me, it does actually end up looking really good. Just building the car park bit now. We'll come back to that later, because I wasn't really sure at that point in time how I was going to start it. Just adding the trims. I think trims are really important in builds, because if you don't add a trim, the building kind of looks unfinished. But as you can see, the reason why I haven't added the trim all the way around, like I've left gaps of trim, is because this trim is actually where windows will be. And basically the idea of the trim is to cover the gaps that are left when you place the windows on each level, because it kind of, I wanted it to look like one big wall of glass rather than having like, rather than it looking like windows in different walls, I wanted it to be like one big piece. And that's kind of, it does create that effect in the end. Here you can see I've used the platform tool. So there's quite a few times where I actually make the kind of basement area quite a bit bigger. And this is one of them. And basically the reason for the platform tool there was to create kind of like the mission control area. And then this area here, you'll see I use the platform tool to raise those decorative pieces. I'm not sure what they're called, but they look quite like something you'd find like in a big server or computer area. and you can basically raise them up on platforms. And then when you see, like, I've put in like walkways, or I guess they're catwalks, where you've got like the raised walkways on the floor above. They kind of, the way they fit between those kind of, I guess, bits of machinery, it looks quite cool, and it looks like they're like maintenance walkways. And then at the very end of the walkway, I actually put the it's almost like a teleportation device, or like, I think it's called the Wormhole Generator. I put that at the end of the walkway, and that whole room is sort of dedicated to the Wormhole Generator, which I thought was quite a neat idea. Yeah, as you can see, the walkways are being added now. I've never actually used the Wormhole Generator, so I don't know what it does. I'm assuming it takes you to like different planets. Whether or not that you actually, if it takes you to like a secret world, I'm not too sure. But it's probably, I assume not, but I may be wrong, because there are a few secret worlds in the game. Some of them are quite cool. Some of them I'm not really interested in, only because I can't build anything there. But the ones where you can build in, I am interested in. But yeah, as you can see, we've got this. I use quite a lot of the objects from Strangerville as well. As you can see, the doors were used. These kind of decorative pieces on the side, they kind of just create like a dust chamber. So almost to stop, like, if you've got any dust on you, you walk in the room, takes all the dust off, and then you're safe to go into the area, because you don't probably want to get dust in some of the parts. Obviously, it doesn't make much sense because the missile silo or rocket silos are being opened, but in reality, if it was shut, then it would basically give like an airtight seal to the outside world. Yeah, just adding the catwalks in. This is actually really fun creating this room. And it turned out way better than I thought it was going to. Like when I first had the idea. And then just adding more details around, just so like when you're walking around, it really feels like you're in a secret base. And then developing like government projects that you're not really supposed to know about, but your sim does because they work here, which is pretty cool. I think if I was a sim developer and I was making the game, I would make it so like each level of the scientific career, every time you level up in that career, you get access to like more areas of the base. And then like maybe when you get to level 10, that's when you're granted access to this area where like the Wormhole Generator is. And like level 8, you get access to the rocket area. Like level 5, you get access to the microscope, like so you can research what planets you want to land on, that kind of thing. I don't know, I think that'd be pretty cool. Obviously, that's not what they've done. And they did quite a lot of jobs in that pack, so to go into that much detail in just one job is pretty unlikely, because in that pack you can also play in like a hospital or in a police station. Stay tuned on the channel as well, because I should be having a police station build come out very, very soon. It is the next build on the schedule, so that should be coming out next. So definitely subscribe to the channel if you want to see the police station build. It's a modern police station, and if you already follow me on the Sims 4 gallery, you'll already have access to download that lot. But if you don't, then click on the link to download this building in the description, and you'll be able to view all the other items on my gallery, including the police station, which is yet to come. There are 2 police stations on there. I have the footage for both, but I don't think I need to do a video for both of them, and it will probably just be the one that I do a video for, as they are very similar. Just one's got like a modern style, one's more traditional, but the modern one's more of a fun build to watch. The modern one actually is quite a similar theme to this, like quite similar style to this build. But you'll know what I mean if you've seen them. But anyway, yeah, we just add in some more details to this kind of. This isn't really like the mission room, control room. This is more like the server room. And then down here, I did like a Keynote Room. I don't know if you just saw it there off the screen. Again, I don't have much footage because it would have the video would have been way too long otherwise. But that's like a Keynote Room, so similar to how they have like in the Apple headquarters or even like Tesla headquarters, you'd have like rooms where you do like product launches. Maybe in there they discuss rocket launches. So I thought that would be a cool room to have. And I don't think it's particularly useful to have, but you could just go down there and watch films because it has a big screen in it. So if your Sims board are working, just let them sit down there and watch a big screen. But yeah, here we go. Here's the, maybe I do show you the staff canteen. Well, this is the staff canteen. It's got obviously like a bar. And there's a fully like functioning kitchen. That kitchen that kind of has the cutaway in the wall, that's actually from the dine out pack. That's good fun, that pack. I like that pack a lot. And then we put like the freezers, vending machines, fridges, hot counters, you name it. It's all there. And then, yeah, as you can see, it's starting to take shape now that you've got like the rocket silo. And you've got quite a lot going on. But yeah, we just moving into the mission control room that I spoke about earlier. This particular room was quite a lot of fun to build as well, because you have like, it was quite hard to get the layout of the desks. It's not actually, it looks like a big spot, but when you kind of, it was too big at first, but then I made it a little bit smaller just because I didn't want like just loads of unnecessary space. Like there was no need for like 7 or 8 to 10 desks down there, because your Sim's not just not going to use all of those desks. Like, it was much better off just make it a little bit smaller, a little bit cozier, and a little bit more fun. I love the pipes that you can put in. It just, like, they don't do anything, but they just create a good amount of detail. And then we put in like the, I think we put the stock tickets, yeah. Normally we use in stock markets, but it'd be quite cool if you could program it to the rocket and then it's like the countdown for the launch cycle. Just add in lots of fire extinguishers and stuff like that, because safety first when you're dealing with rockets. Then we change the desk just to this one, because I didn't really like the other desk. But you can imagine that's where like they're talking to the pilots, or the pilot, or they're just checking off, making sure all the safety systems are in check before they launch the rocket off. Which, as I said earlier, if you carry on watching the video till the end, you will see the rocket take off, which is nice, and it actually looks really cool in the video as well. Like, way better than I thought it was going to look. Like, you just see this rocket go like take off, and it just, yeah, it looks really cool. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, just adding more machinery about. I kept having to make the basement bigger just to fit places, like where you've got the keynote area. You've got also like, you haven't just got the keynote area, but you've got like a dressing room and a makeup room just off the side of it, just so it feels a bit more realistic, like so that the person who's on stage can get ready before they get on stage. I just thought it was a cool way to do it. And then I started raising like the vents here, because I don't know, I just wanted this space to have more detail. Ends up being really cool. Yeah, there you go, there's the vents being raised up. Yeah, just, it's all about the detail in builds like this. You just got to add like all the vents, all that kind of stuff. I don't think your Sims would really ever go into half these areas, especially like on the silo, like there's literally nothing to do there. Yeah, it's coming along nicely, as you can see. So this video is kind of, I'm going to just play, when it comes to the screenshots, I'm just going to play music over the top, as there's not much for me to talk about while the screenshot's going on. This bit here ends up being like a mini like welfare area. I don't think I've videoed the full furnishing of it. There's like a hospital bed and stuff like that. Quite a lot going on underground as well, but you'll see it all in the screenshots anyway. But I just want to say thank you if you've watched till this point. Please like, comment and subscribe if you're enjoying this content. And please like, comment anything that you want to see me try and build, because I'm open to suggestions. I've built quite a lot of things. So yeah, I'm open to suggestions. But thanks for watching, guys, and take care.